Looking for music that lifts your spirit and fills your heart? Experience the powerful sound of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square. Now streaming on all your favorite music platforms. Find the Tabernacle Choir on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Pandora. Let the music of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square inspire you today and every day. Whether you're at home, in the car, or on the go, enjoy the beauty of their world-renowned sound anytime. The Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square, streaming now.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the biggest name.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Underrated voice, Roy Orbison.
Away.
Let this go a little bit.
It was so sweet.
I love this song.
The Traveling Wilburys consisted of Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Jeff Lynne, Roy Orbison, and Tom Petty. Perhaps the biggest supergroup of all time. It's like the LeBron James Band.
Yeah, it's not even close.
That's the way they should call it. The LeBron James Band, because you're always looking for a supergroup. Carry your voice.
Wow. Okay. We mentioned that Ohio State had a $17 million a year contract.
Yes, tell me there's more.
Notre Dame just came over the top. They threw the hammer down.
So, oh, really?
Notre Dame announces... And again, I don't know how long of a contract is.
We didn't want this to get out. The Party Hounds, we're doing this.
But the Party Hounds is the patch. It's a deal with SoFi, a 9-figure deal. 9 figures. That's over $100 million for those kids at home.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Now, I don't know what that means. Maybe it's a 10-year deal at $100 million, so it's $10 million per year. We don't know what the per year thing is. So Ohio State's, they're touting that it's $17 million per year. Notre Dame's announcing, well, okay, ours is $100 million or more.
Okay, well, let's see what our next presenter brings.
And it's an all sports patch, so it goes on all the sports. SoFi, it's a pretty reputable business.
Curious to see what Texas polls.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's the Patch Wars.
Here we go. Ross Dellinger, some more info. So, yes, it is expected to be the most valuable jersey sponsorship deal in college athletic history with an average of $18 to $20 million annually. So, probably about a five-year deal.
How much annually?
$18 to $20 million.
So, they're above.
So, I like how Ohio State makes their announcement an hour. And so, Ohio State got a whole 60 minutes to themselves as being the biggest revenue generator on a jersey patch. They had a whole hour in the news cycle as being the big dog. And then Notre Dame goes, that's cute. Here comes SoFi. And we're going to see your $17 million, and we're going to go 20. Who's got 21?
21.
Those guys are great, by the way. I love it.
Oh, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I really do. I wish I could.
Those guys make money just traveling around the country.
So much.
Oh, yeah.
They get a piece of the action.
Yeah, you're a professional announcer. Whew. Yeah.
But you have to tuck yourself out of a corner. You have to tuck real quick.
I hear 20. Yep.
In the back right there, 26. 5 possible patches I just looked up for Texas. And this is Dell, which is based in Austin. Rico.
Suave.
American Airlines. Can you imagine some? I mean, we're going to see some other big numbers here.
Yeah. That's nuts. It's just crazy how crazy this is.
That lasted an hour. We were enamored for an hour.
Ohio State, you had your moment in the sun. Now it's gone.
And then you were like, I bet if these numbers are big, they're going to release them. Boom. Yep. Notre Dame's like, yes, in fact, we are.
You think there'll be another one by the end of the day?
Yeah. Why not?
Probably.
Why not? Unless, those are 2 big ones, so it'd have to be somebody with some juice.
Somebody trying to upstage SoFi and J.P. Morgan.
Wonder what Snow College is going to go with this year. What patch?
Oh. You know what? What's a good...
2 Jack's Pizza down there?
Yeah. I'd love it. Absolutely love it. And it's an NIL deal that everybody gets free pizza.
Little 2 Jack.
Hey, look, I mean, we're still waiting on Utah's football jersey, right?
Yes.
So, hey, who wants to pony up for Utah?
Did you see there was a little bit of, speaking of all this, there was a little bit of discomfort. I guess Josh Pastner made a comment off the cuff. Go figure. I think everything that dude does is off the cuff.
Yeah. Do you have that audio? I know Jake was playing it on his show yesterday.
I mean, it's pretty good because basically he kind of took the premise, without consulting the president or AD, that the athletic team, that basketball team might be for sale.
Yeah.
You want to own this? Come on in with a big figure. And then I saw Dillingham pleading for $20 million.
Oh, of course, Kenny's going to plead for money. But you know what was really interesting about that? And you know what? There's a lot about Josh Pastner. Like, he's Barnum and Bailey. Like, he's outside.
He's a clown.
He is a clown. But he said some things. But honestly, what he said wasn't off base. He's saying, look, everybody wants to come in here and own the NBA team. When the NBA comes to Vegas, everybody's going to want to own it. Tell you what, you can own UNLV for a lot less. They're looking billions. I'm just looking for $12 million. You give me $12 million, you can be the owner of UNLV basketball. And now the wording probably from a legality standpoint wasn't great. And UNLV had to step in and kind of walk things back a little bit. But honestly, he's not wrong. He's like, look, you want to own UNLV basketball? It can be yours. I'll let you Phil Knight the heck out of it. You want to sit on the sidelines? You want to sit on the charter? You want to come to every practice? You want to be a part of it? Boom, it's yours. Here's Josh Pastner. Here's his comments, and frankly, I don't really disagree with him.
I know a lot of people are trying to become owners of this NBA team coming in 2029. I have told people, why? Buy the college basketball team. It's legal now. You can be the owner of the UNLV Runnin' Rebels men's basketball team, and it's a lot less expensive. You don't have to spend over $1 billion to own our team. I'm asking for $10 to $12 million to own our team, and you still get a great tax write-off, and you can be as involved, and you can tell everyone you're the owner of the team.
I mean, it's dirty and it's kind of filthy, but it's not. I mean, he's just saying what everybody else is thinking. He's just saying it out loud.
Does that come with free parking at the Sphere? So after this all came out, and then the AD was like, "Whoa, let's clarify." Yeah. So Josh came back and said, "I want to clarify my recent comments regarding support." Change that word. Support for the UNLV men's basketball program. The Runnin' Rebs are not for sale. And my reference to an owner was meant to highlight the level of resources, sponsorships, and overall support needed to compete in today's evolving college athletics landscape, not to suggest that anyone could actually own the program.
Yeah.
So I mean, he made his point.
Yeah.
Got a couple articles written.
And, he did exactly what he wanted to do. He got the word out there, and now he's come back and goes, you know what? I've had a couple people already about this. Like, okay, he's got everybody knocking down his door. If you want to be a part of it, you better get in quickly.
I've come into contact with a lot of people that have the type of money that could do something like this. And, the drummer in the Party Hounds, for one, I asked him because he's got this crazy amount of money. He's a Texas grad. And when NIL kind of came onto the scene, I said to him, is that something you donate to Texas and give them money? And he's like, no, it's the worst investment in the world. Why would you do that? Yeah. And and I started to think, okay, maybe for a year you puff your chest out.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a pretty expensive chest puffing, amount. And so that comes to the whole idea of donor fatigue, which I think we're starting to get into a teeny bit. People are starting to say, and unless it was the cookie guy, he's always up for
cookie guy
throwing money around.
Yeah.
But other than
Captain
that,
Cookie.
Captain Cookie. Oh, somebody needs a fine paid? Here, what do you need?
Will you accept payment in form of cream cheese frosting? Which, by the way, is delightful. I love those cookies. I'm not even hating on them.
I will give you 12 free new cookies every month.
You get
it, the deal.
And you get to choose one of the cookies every week when the new ones. I know a lot of people hate on that place. Like, I actually kind of like it.
I don't hate it. But I hate all the posture.
Oh yeah, I do too. But it just goes to show where, like, okay, so I've talked to donors that have given money for NIL because they want their teams to be competitive. And then he goes, and then I'm on Instagram, and you follow these guys and you feel personally invested because you're personally investing in them. And then you see, a guy got a new grill or they're taking a vacation to Barbados and you're like, that's my money. And it's a weird feeling. Like these kids, and he's like, the kid can spend the money any way he wants. Like he's getting paid. And so, it's up to you to spend your discretionary income any way you want. But he goes, it just sat weird with me to see this crazy diamond encrusted necklace with his number on it. And
saw a couple of those.
Barbados and all of these things. He's like, I'm actually footing the bill for that. That's my money. And I think in his mind, he thought, okay, I'm going to give him this money. He's going to put it in a Roth. It's going to sit and collect. And when he turns 65, he's going to cash out and he's going to have a comfortable life. I think that's what a lot of these guys are thinking. In reality, they see these dudes driving crazy vehicles and living life like any 18 to 22-year-old would if they got thrown a ton of money at them very quickly. I would do the same. Coach, I don't know. You're an old soul. You'd probably be a little bit more responsible than us.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would share. Yeah,
but honestly, we would all do it. But the realization of like, oh, that's my money. I know that's chasing away a lot of people. It's like, I did it a couple of years, but I'm not seeing, as you mentioned, the ROI on it.
Yeah, it is seriously. It's just intrinsic. It's like I did that, and there's a reason people do it, I guess. Be like Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State wide receiver, who his valuation on NIL is $5 million, which is the fourth highest valuation in all of college sports, tied with other Big Ten star Dante Moore from Oregon. His first big purchase with his NIL valuation.
Mom.
He bought his grandmother.
Oh, grandma.
He bought his grandmother's house for his mom to live in.
Love it.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind the necklaces and stuff, but that's something that, that's a very good thing.
And by the way, I don't either. Like I said, I would buy frivolous stuff too at that age. I just know that some people are like, wait a minute. And it's just, you hate to be judgmental, but I think some of these guys are like, wait, that's like, and then you become really angry when that player doesn't perform, which again isn't fair because not all of us have great days at the office. You and I hope to have a couple good shows a week, maybe one bad show, and then everything else we just try to cobble it together and be great as much as we can. But we're not great all the time. And so if you personally gave money to a kid and that kid doesn't play up to your level of expectations, it's hard not for you to feel like, oh, that was money down the drain. Ugh. Can't give him all this money and he's spending all this crap and he's not even playing well.
Can't make a shot.
And that's not fair to the kid.
Right.
And it's not fair to the program. It's not fair to anybody, but also that's human nature to kind of feel that way too.
Totally. Absolutely. And it's just it's the new era. I said this a bunch, but 2019 was just 7 years ago and you couldn't buy a guy a granola bar.
Yeah.
And now you got guys with the money you're giving them buying their mom a house. I mean, it's wild how fast everything's gotten to this point.
Yeah. And the other element to it too is you to go from 7 years to a guy saying our program is for sale. You can buy UNLV basketball. Ready, go. So Kyle Whittingham had some thoughts. He's hanging out with Rich Eisen, and he breaks down what he thinks the future of college athletics looks like.
I think it's got to be an NFL minor league model where we have a salary cap, and the players are employees. I think as distasteful as some of that is, I don't think there's any other way that is better than that. And right now it's out of control. I mean, we're going to have probably a dozen teams in the next recruiting cycle with $50 million rosters, and there's such a disparity between the haves and the have-nots. And I think that the only way to get that evened out and level the playing field is to go ahead and pattern it after an NFL, like I said, a minor league NFL model and a super league, if you will, and you'll probably see 48 to 60 teams survive the cut and be on the right side of the line in the sand and proceed forward.
So again, he's looking at that breakaway model.
That's what he's been talking about forever.
Forever. I mean, years Kyle Whittingham's been talking about
And now he's
this.
got a spot.
Yeah.
Like, he's at the table.
And I think that was appealing to him, too. Like, I don't want to go to bed at night worrying, am I going to wake up tomorrow, the world changes, and I'm back at a Mountain West Conference level and a Mountain West Conference budget. Like, I can't handle that. Now he knows that he's at a blue blood. And when he says we're going to have $50 million rosters, that's Kyle Whittingham knowing that he, in fact, is going to have a $50 million roster because Michigan is not going to get outspent on a roster. Like, there is too much money involved. So when Kyle starts throwing numbers around, just know those are going to be very accurate because he, in fact, is going to be with the program that's going to lead the way in that regard.
And you think about, like, when NIL started, everybody, like, the numbers everybody's talking about were in the 100,000s.
Yes.
Right? So if you take all your players and you pay them, in that range, you're nowhere near $50 million. But that's how fast this thing's, it's just, bam, it's gone.
And he mentioned 20 to 30% increase every year.
Because I heard at one point $20 million, but I don't think we're that far away from $100 million rosters unless we figure something out.
Yeah. And again, he says it's not sustainable. He's right. Even at Michigan, it's not sustainable, but will the market kind of balance itself out? Like, it's like, hey, you know what? We've given you this money. We're not giving you anymore. We can't. Like, I'm capped. It's like, you talk about billionaires in the NBA. The one thing that finally got their attention was this second apron because even billionaires are like, that's way too much money.
What did you say Denver was going to pay?
Denver right now is $68 million in penalties. Just in penalties, which means they'll be shedding money like crazy during the offseason or during the regular season. So even billionaires they have their number.
And the money that's spent like over the second apron, that money then is distributed to the other teams, correct? So they're basically in deciding to bring Spencer Jones back for $6, and they'll change. I mean, they're going to adjust, I would imagine, because they're nowhere near winning one. But if they went through that, then they would basically be giving $68 million to their competitors.
Yeah. Yep. Right. Spread out to probably 10 to 14 teams.
Pretty crazy.
I just.
But I like the idea of a cap.
I do
in
too.
College.
Oh, I do too.
Definitely
Absolutely.
need it. And I'm not for one that needs to be. I mean, make it realistic, but one that we can operate here and keep it here. We're not going to continue to 20 million, 30, 50, 100. Right? You got to be able to lock it in.
I think I've told you this story. So it was Danny Sprinkle's year at Utah State. So that was 3 years ago. So 3 years ago in November, we're in the Cayman Islands at a basketball tournament. And Andy Hill, you know Andy very well.
Great, yeah.
Andy Hill's on that staff with Danny Sprinkle.
Right.
And this is the whole NIL thing had been turned upside down. And they had lost Stephen Ashworth, who went to Creighton. And by the way, Stephen, we should call Stephen and get him on because he's really great at breaking down this stuff. Stephen got, I think, want to say like 150,000.
Yeah, because they slotted every person the same.
They
Creighton.
did, and McDermott did a great job with it. But I talked to Andy and I said, "All right, what do you need to be competitive in the Mountain West Conference? Like per year for the team." Right now, what do you have to be competitive? Off the air, just tell me, just between us. He goes, if we had if we could get 600,000 every year, we'd be competitive. We'd be right there at the top of the conference. That was less than 3 years ago.
And now there's two guys making more than that?
Two guys combined making over $3 million on Utah State's roster.
Right.
And I don't know I don't know exactly.
Right.
I'm kind of guessing based on market values and stuff like that. But, I mean, that just shows you how escalated and how quickly things got out of control.
Because if you've paid $3 for two guys-ish, the rest of your roster, you're looking at $4 to $5 million now and that's on the cheap, right? Like it's insane. When you figure what AJ pulled down last year and what their salary cap with AJ would have been, you can see where it could go crazy quick. So guardrails, salary cap. I like the way Kyle's talking.
But the more I hear about it, the more I think about it. I was dead wrong last week. I think the SEC and the Big 12 when we say that they'll break away, we're not just talking about them taking their 16 and 18 teams and forming one conference. It means that they're going to break away and then pillage everybody else that they want from everybody else.
Around a 40-something or 50, somewhere in that range.
Yep.
So everybody's going to be trying to get their patch in order and everything else to be as appealing as possible to make the cut.
And BYU and Utah are going to do everything they possibly can to position themselves so when that does happen, if that happens, but you and I think when that happens, that those two schools are going to be like, okay, we've got our revenue in line. This is what we've got. That's why Utah went out and got the private equity. They needed that money.
They have to because, again, your donor base can give so much. You can count on some of that. And sometimes there'll be a unique gift. But, Utah's in a spot where this has been going on for a while. You're knocking on the same doors. And it's hard to pull money out of people, when they see at the end of the day that, what am I really doing here?
All right, 11:24, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. A little good, the bad, the ugly. Coming up next, Lloyd Cole, shockingly, is on vacation. We will chat with him.
That's the ugly.
That's the ugly.
And the good.
Lloyd doesn't want to hang out with us anymore.
And the good.
And the good.
For
the good
us.
for you, yes. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to saddle up and talk about the winners and the losers. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, here's the good.
It is your good, it is your bad, it is your ugly, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, as you look across the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles can breathe a big sigh of relief because Jalen Carter isn't going anywhere. The Eagles signing the two-time Pro Bowl selection to a, wait for it, 4-year, $152 million contract extension, worth up to 160, and about 110 of it is guaranteed. It is he is the highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history, making about $38 million per year. He's 25 years old. He's been to the Pro Bowl the last 2 years. Last year, 13.5 sacks, 37 quarterback hits, and 108 tackles in his first 3 seasons.
That dude's a menace. He's an absolute menace.
Really is.
So they're paying him like a menace.
As they should. Look, if you've got a kid out there that's playing football, and he's like, Dad, I want to go to the NFL. I want to be a running back. Tell him, nope. Running backs don't last long in the NFL. They don't actually make that much money in the NFL because they're interchangeable. They'll wear you right into the ground after 2 or 3 years and then kick you to the curb. I saw a thing on Twitter that popped up like, hey, remember Arian Foster? It's like, yeah, I remember that guy with the Texans. And he was the best player in the league for like 2 years and then disappeared. I mean, they will churn and burn through running backs like nothing. If you can, though, have your kid be either a quarterback, either a left tackle, or a defensive end or a defensive tackle.
That's where the money is.
That's where the money is. Like, if you've got a kid who's 6'5", can really put on the beef, is a monster in the weight room, has got quick feet, say, we're going to move you to left tackle, son, and we're going to get you making some money. Because those guys can not only make crazy money, but they can be in the league for a long time.
You ever seen The Blind Side, kid?
Yeah, there you go. And then you can sue us afterwards for putting you in a movie and making even more money.
So right now, that's everybody that doesn't have a deal is fighting to get one. I just read, and this could be bad, I guess. Should we make it bad?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Now the bad.
I guess this is bad if you are a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. You know, you wear a patch and reside in a ship.
Yes.
Baker Mayfield is reporting to training camp. That's good news, but he does not have a new deal in hand. So they're still working on that. Sources told ESPN that Mayfield and his agent have not made significant progress on the Bucs on a new contract. A deal is largely not expected by the start of Bucs' first practice, which is July 29th. Is that tomorrow?
That is tomorrow. By the way, everybody is reported in training camp. NFL is here, folks.
I'm so pumped.
I'm
my first
beyond
year
excited.
Watching it, playing fantasy football and all that good stuff, but sitting here and talking about it too.
You know, I have not played fantasy football in years.
What you're looking at here is a 2-time league champion and coming off a league championship last year.
Should we do a station one?
I think we should. That would be actually really fun because we could rib Lloyd.
I get a little concerned because
Competition?
not necessarily competition, but
I just know you won't fill out your dang roster.
yeah, I might have the auto draft.
Baker hasn't signed yet, but I've got him at quarterback. Hopefully that deal gets done.
I just hand it over to Brody, let him run it.
Yeah, I had a year of years last year. So 2 champs for me in a 6-year span.
Look at you go. Baker Mayfield is a hell of a quarterback. I love Baker Mayfield. I loved him in college. I love the planting the flag down and all the crap stirring that he did at the collegiate level.
I love the ads in Brown when he had the Brown Stadium as his house.
And look, he got Cleveland respectable, and then they kicked him to the curb. Like, nobody wins in Cleveland. He got him close. And then no, we don't think you have it anymore. And then he could have been had for a song. Anybody could have had him. The Rams throw him a lifeline. He has some spot work there, does well. Tampa Bay goes, and now he's killing it again. I think the guy, yeah, absolutely. Hold out, get your money, because the NFL's already shown you they will throw you to the curb so fast. Like some of these holdouts, I'm like, it's probably not in your best interest. Baker, go get your money, man. Go get it.
His pay ranks 16th among quarterbacks.
Yes.
And he's averaging about $33 million a year. I know that sounds like a lot, but that's tough to live on in these days. Have you seen the price of gas?
In this economy?
Sources also said that Mayfield isn't afraid of playing out this season under his current deal. He has 1 year left, so he's looking for an extension. But he would prefer if he could get some ink on a new deal.
Yeah. Well, there's a little bit of security there. But essentially what he's saying is, you know what? I'll bet on myself, and then I'll hit the open market, and you guys
won't afford me.
Can't afford me, or I will, or you're really going to have to pay. You want a little bit of a discount? Sign me an extension now. If you really want to pay me, you're going to have to, or we'll do it at the end of the year. Then you'll have to overpay to keep me because I have a long memory.
And I think that's his thought. If he has to play this year and just go do what he does again, and then next year will be fun for him. He'll be fielding offers.
Yes. But the problem is you take a helmet to the knee and you shred an ACL, you're SOL.
So Mayfield is not alone. Nose tackle Vita, a member of the franchise Super Bowl winning team, recently requested a trade because he has not been able to get a deal done.
That is interesting because he has requested a trade, according to multiple reports. Tampa Bay's not going to trade him. I should be careful there. I don't think they're going to trade him, but that would cause a stir very quickly if he's no longer a member of that team next year.
6'4", 347.
That dude is a menace.
Man, oh man. And it's back to full circle. We talked about a quarterback, and we talked about another defensive tackle.
D-tackle.
That's where the money is, yeah.
Go get that money. Absolutely. All right, there's your bad. Let's get to the ugly.
And, of course, the ugly.
So if you're the San Francisco 49ers, and we talked a little bit about Kyle Shanahan and the issues that he's dealing with, and really, first off, he needs to just focus in on himself. Chris Sims, his college buddy, mentioned that, he's beat up really bad. His face is cut up, the gashes. He went into explicit details, which I'm sure Kyle Shanahan's like, bruh, can you not tell everybody that my face is all cut up?
Can I'm ready to talk?
Can I be the one to talk about this, for crying out loud?
My wife?
Yeah, exactly. But he's going to try to get back into training camp and back with the team. I know you feel a little bit responsible there and you want to get back. This is one that I think the team will be like, you know what? Take your time. We'll be all right. And when you're the head coach and you got your OC, I know Kyle Shanahan calls plays, but let your OC take over for camp. You're going to be just fine. Let's just pump the brakes a little bit. You don't have to go back and work those 100-hour weeks immediately.
We know that you got it. We know that you got it, and I pray he's better quick. So glad that he's healthy, relatively, and that he didn't lose an eye. I mean, it's a scary proposition, but just 2 days in a row now, we've got some major mayhem in a couple different places. Kansas City, we talked about yesterday with Bieniemy's son, shooting his wife, and then today this story a little bit more about Shanahan. So they'll be in and out of training camp, but both of them could have been way worse. Good thing that it is just what it is.
40 stitches across his face, according to Chris Sims.
Wow. He was cut up.
40 stitches. He's going to look like Frankenstein out there.
Yeah. What's the Jack Skellington?
Yeah. You know what? I don't think anybody's going to blame you if you take your sweet time coming back on that one. And frankly, I don't know if anybody really wants to see you on the sidelines right now based on that.
Chris Sims could we could put a bag over his head and Chris could just stand next to him and give us a play-by-play.
Yeah, I think
right cheek's healing.
I think that's what Chris wants is maybe he's like, look, I'll take over the team while you're gone. I'm going to tell everybody how bad a shape you're in. And then, you know what? If you need somebody to be on the sideline, call the timeouts, give a little pep talk, I'm your guy.
I've been doing this a while. I'm confident in my ability to broadcast.
Yeah. Hey, ultimately, though, back to the good, training camps have all begun.
That is the best news because we're going to start getting snippets to talk about every day. When training camp begins, we're going to talk about, 4 or 5 amazing throws that Fernando makes.
Oh, jeez.
In Raiders camp. And Stidham's got a big season ahead of him.
You see Fernando posing with Darryn Peterson?
Darn straight. I did.
Darryn doesn't need to get that Raider stink on him.
We'll make sure he showers before he comes in studio.
Oh, man. Yeah, so that's it's a pretty bad deal. Bad deal with Kyle Shanahan. You hope certainly the best for him. And you'd love to get him back on the sidelines, but I don't think anybody's going to be too upset with that.
If he recovers, it's fine to recover.
Hey, shout out to the Florida Marlins, by the way. They finally won a game. They snapped a 12-game losing streak. 12 games in a row they'd lost. You talk about your Red Sox.
Yeah, I'm still sore.
What was that number? Got up to 15?
It was 15.
Yeah.
Until you guys started popping off. And then Lloyd texted me because they won the next day, and he said, they just got to win 15 more, and you'll get to your 16. That's the kind of guy Lloyd is.
See, that's it. When Lloyd knows that there's something that gets you, he just pries. Just
leans in hard.
Just keeps jabbing. Jab.
We talked about North Carolina yesterday.
Yes.
And their issue that they have going on with a support staff member. Alabama. Yeah, Mike. Alabama's NIL content director was arrested for a human trafficking sting. So this is another big school with a guy hanging around. He was in charge of the NIL content, and he was one among 15 men arrested in a trafficking sting that he took part in.
Good job cleaning up the details there.
I mean, some money changed hands.
I could see,
yada, yada.
I could see the wheels spinning there like, okay, yeah, this is ugly.
That's where you go, yada, yada, yada. And now he will not be with Alabama anymore.
Good. That's all I can say about that. I hope if he is in fact guilty of this, I hope there's a deep hole in the ocean that they can drop him into.
Yes. Alabama has no longer housed Mr. Suttles on their staff page. So I would be safe to assume that the transaction was what it was, and he is no longer employed.
So I told you I saw that movie, The Odyssey, and when the Florida Marlins actually won their game, the manager said, "I feel a bit like Odysseus, who's the main character."
Hey, I do my literary stuff.
He goes, like, I'm away from home for 10 years. At some point, I'm going to return home. I don't know what basketball god I infuriated, but it's where we're at today. It is a possibility. That's after the Marlins blew their big lead in the 6th inning, leading to their 12th loss in a row. And Clayton McCulloch is the one who said that and said, hey, look, I think I am Odysseus, and I am cursed by the baseball gods. I know that you feel like sometimes guys can get a little bit superstitious. On a losing skid, would you change socks or?
Oh, absolutely. If I lost in a tie, it was gone. Did not wear a losing tie again.
Really? So there were never any repeats of ties that you suffered a loss in?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, those things were put on ice, and we kept with the winning ties. And you'd maybe get 2 or 3 out before you got on a hot streak with one.
So if you won like 4 in a row with the same tie, and then...
I mean, I wouldn't keep wearing it. That's a winner.
Yeah.
I'll come back to it when I want.
Yeah. But as soon as that tie lost, it was gone.
Gone.
Okay. So it could have been in the rotation, won a bunch of games.
Right.
But as soon as it was, you're out.
Out.
You're going to DI.
Yep. I had a big old line of ties and a good friendship with the boys at the clothing store down there. And
shout out
to the Double M.
Mr. Mack.
And so, they took care of me. But I would not. So I got very superstitious, even down to suits. I wouldn't throw suits away, but if they lost, they'd go in the cooler for at least a month. I couldn't go back to that guy.
They go in the back of the closet.
But now it's just, wear sweats. That would have been much more my speed.
That's I had a coach tell me that's the only good thing that came out of COVID for coaches is that everybody ditched the suits.
It was always the weirdest thing to walk into an athletic event as a coach and you're dressed as though you're going to a wedding and you're sweating and it's uncomfortable. So yes, that was an awesome move. I think the next best thing would be coaches having to wear the uniform in basketball, the tank top and shorts.
I think you had a former boss that may not have been overly. People wouldn't have been overly excited about that.
Nah, yeah, Rick wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah.
What? Can I just wear my sweater and shorts?
I'll wear the shorts.
Oh.
So, okay. I think I asked you this the other day. How many sweaters were in rotation?
2.
2. That's it.
2.
Did you get the cleaning bill on that one, or the cleaning responsibility?
I would. It was Red Hanger Cleaners on Foothill Boulevard.
Okay, so you didn't put it in the washer, but you took it down
to the cleaners, and then I pick it up and drop it off at the hotel for them. That was my job for a year.
And it was Red Hanger?
Yep, right there on Foothill. You pass it right when you get on there on the right, about 17th-ish.
Was it
13th?
Was it Reebok you guys were with? Was it Reebok?
We were with Reebok.
Yeah.
So he had those. So before the Reebok sweaters, he wore these 2 like J. Crew sweaters. He had an olive and a tan. And I told a story that we left one in a hotel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And he was superstitious. So if he wore the beige one and we won back then, he'd want the beige one again. And we left it in Colorado, Fort Collins. So I called hotel, overnighted it. And like I said to the lady, is there a sweater there? I don't know. Let me check. And I'm like, okay, maybe looks more like an awning. And she's like, yeah, it's right here. So I got it in a very large package the next day. I zipped over because it was like we'd play Wednesday, Saturday, something like that. And so I zipped it over to the cleaners. It was a day late, but I got it at the hotel, and he had it on for game day. And that actual story's in his book, My Life on a Napkin by Gene Wojciechowski.
Oh,
if you haven't read that, it's a great book. And Gene called me out of the blue. He's like, I hear you've got great Rick stories. So we talked for a couple hours, and he used about 3 or 4 of the excerpts.
So did Rick know that it was lost?
No, he had no idea.
So when he finally got it, did you tell him, boy, this thing's been through? No, you just kept your mouth shut the whole time.
Yeah, you wanted him to think you were on it. I mean, I certainly wasn't, but in his mind, I had to be.
Yeah. That's a lot of pressure.
It was pressure. Like that one, I don't know that I've ever been more scared because I had a day job. So I sprinted from the airport to my day job. I'm sitting at the desk, and I'm like, calling the hotel. And I'm like, just please tell me you have it. Because I'm looking, okay, do I need to go buy another one? And what size was it?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
It's like, if you have a kid and their pet dies and you try to find another fish or something like that, that's the same kind. Like, probably is not going to work. You're probably going to catch it.
One of the cooler times, it was the time that I actually hung with him for a couple of days. And he said to me, I could never tell you this while I was kicking your ass, but you're as good as I've ever had. You're as good a manager as ever. But it was like 3 years later.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't tell you while you're doing it.
No.
And you'd rest on your laurels. He said I'm doing a good job.
Yeah. Woo. I got to imagine there's some of you guys came out of that with a little PTSD.
Oh, there's no question we have it. And when we all get together, I mean, there's guys all over the country that were part of this thing, either here or in St. Louis prior. after.
Yeah.
The 2 days at USC. all those guys, and we've all got stories. So it's really fun when we get. In fact, we ought to do a show one day and get some streams. Get Keith
Van
and Andre.
Horn.
Just have a whole 4-hour show about that guy.
I think I've told this on the air. I know I've mentioned it off the air a bunch of times, but the Jazz had this preseason dinner with the coaches in the front office and the broadcast crew. And that's when we were more involved in the play-by-play broadcast. And so all of us were there at this dinner, and Quinn. No. It was, I can't remember if it was Quinn or Tyrone, but either way, Alex Jensen was on staff, and we're sitting around a table, and Britton Johnson, who was doing pre-half and post at the time, Britton's there, and Alex just starts talking about, Rick was hard. It was tough dealing with. And Britton just drops his fork and looks at him and is like, bro, you were the golden child. Don't tell me, of all people, about how hard Rick was. You don't get the right, Britton never gets mad. And I don't think he was really that mad, but he was like, he's like, we need to set the record straight, Alex. 2 of us played for him. One of us had it bad, and it wasn't you.
I remember one time in a practice, it was actually before Al went on his mission. It was his freshman year. And you talk about guys that come in ready-made, plug and play. Like, he just knew how to play. And from a young age, was really advanced. And so Rick loved it. Like, he was a talker. He talked out on the floor. He's a great communicator. He'd take on physicality, throw himself into tough situations. And he was skilled offensively. He's a good player. He was the player of the year in the league, right? So, but this is a freshman, and Rick just fell in love with everything about Al. And so one day he stops practice. He's like, Al, I see what you're thinking there. And, I love you so much. If you're a woman, I'd marry you. But, when you go to block out, but he would always, that's how he got on Al, is he would correct him with love. And one time Al wasn't talking good enough. He had his mission call. He was going to England. And a screen came, and Al didn't communicate it and navigate it right, and Rick stops everything. And he's like, Al, in order to convert people, you will have to talk. And he's like, you're going to look pretty stupid if you knock on the door and you say, hey, we're here with the church, and then just stare at them. I mean, you're not going to get any converts that way. So that was the way he went after Al.
So, yeah, that was the hard stuff.
That was the hard stuff. And then Britton was just like, Britton, I've seen that crap shake about 17 times. Just pass the ball. He was always ripping on Britton's flair.
Oh, poor Britton. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coming up, hey, guess who's going to join the program? This might be the last time he's able to join the program, but the great Tony Jones will join us coming up at 12:05 right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
We all have routines. I'm Jabron, and with diabetes, mine was finger sticks. Sometimes I skip them because they hurt. The Freestyle Libre 3CGM changed that. It gives me glucose insights without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Finger sticks are required if your glucose alarms or readings do not match symptoms, or when you see check blood glucose symbol for the first 12 hours. The views expressed should not be used for medical diagnosis or treatment as a substitute for professional medical advice. Individual circumstances may vary. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Evening. Buyer's remorse. Buy a new car? I'll be moving in. Let's get started.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake. I bought it from Carvana.
You what?
Yeah, great price. I even have 7 days to love it or return it.
So there's no...
No buyer's remorse. More like buyer's rejoice.
I guess I'll let myself out. Congratulations. I mean it.
Buyer's rejoice. Buy your car today on Carvana.
Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
The Jazz, the Mammoth, and the Utes, Cougars, and Aggies. When it comes to sports in Utah, we've got you covered. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Yeah, brown-eyed girl. She's my... Oh, brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when? Hey, there's... I think the playlist is going to take a sharp turn coming up the next because I think this one's left over from last week.
I'm excited to see the jump.
All right, so coming up, Tony Jones is going to join us at 12:05. Then we'll continue our tour around teams that we're looking forward to seeing. We'll get to Bill Bender, who joins us from the Sporting News, get his thoughts on what's going on in the world of college athletics and college football. They just had a college football playoff prediction with the Sporting News. You ready for this?
I am so ready.
The number 1 seed, Indiana. All right, fine.
Try harder.
Georgia 2, Notre Dame 3. Wait a minute, is this last year's? Did they just do last year's? Look at our college predictions for the 26-27. This looks like exactly like last year's. So Indiana 1, Georgia 2, Notre Dame 3, Ohio State 4, Texas 5, Oregon 6. Then you got Miami 7, Ole Miss 8, Oklahoma 9, USC 10, BYU coming in at 11.
They'll finish higher than USC.
And then Boise State at 12 as the G5 representative.
I'm with Jake on the Stinkin' Riley train.
Are you?
That's what he calls him, yeah.
The Stinkin' Riley?
Yeah. I think he's just more of a hype than anything else.
USC seems to find those hype guys where it's like, hey, you got to have somebody with some substance. Like, you know, they always find the all hat, no horse guy. You got to find somebody that's got some meat that can actually get you the job done.
Absolutely.
He can win the press conference all he wants. That's great. But at the end of the day, you got to have a guy that can flat out coach. And USC just doesn't seem to put that as a priority as they should. But we'll talk to Bill Bender coming up at 1:05, get his thoughts on the upcoming college football season, and if he thinks that we'll actually get some legislation done. There's a lot of people that think we might be getting close to that. I'm not quite sure if that's the case, but it does seem like there's a level of optimism there that we have not seen in quite some time.
That'll be one thing we talked to Bill about. Bend his ear, pardon the pun. Be an ear bender. This is one thing I just saw that I want to bring up since we have a couple minutes. 2026 top 25 in the NBA under 25.
Okay.
And this was a poll that was put out, over 305,000 votes from the community. So this is pretty interesting. At number 1, no surprise, the freak, the alien, not the freak, Victor Wembanyama. 2, Cooper Flagg. 3, Dylan Harper. 4, AJ DeBonsa. 5,
wow, already.
5, Darryn Peterson. The Jazz in the top 25 have 3 players voted top 25 under 25. And so Peterson's 5, Keontae George is 20, and Ace Bailey's 21. But that's, good sign, good young talent.
I really think that you're going to see everybody on week 1 look at Darryn Peterson, and Ace Bailey's going to go out and score 25.
We were talking about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got it. There's no question he's got it in him. And the way he finished last year, there were nights where he'd do a couple things, and it was like, man, that turnaround jumper looked just like Carmelo in his prime. He's just doing things like that. So I'm excited with an off season. He's stronger. A little disappointing in the summer, got injured in Vegas, but played well in Salt Lake. And so when he hits the ground running, I would not be surprised if in game 1 he's your leading scorer. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
No. And look, honestly, there's a world that exists out there where 4 or 5 years from now, Ace Bailey is the face of the franchise, not Darryn Peterson.
Well, and that's what we talked about. Like pre-draft, you want the guy that you draft in this draft, you want to be in 3 to 5 years. That's the guy you want to have leading things.
Yeah.
The face of the program, your best player. And I certainly believe that, out of the gates without playing a game, people think he's in that top 5. That's 305,000 votes. So Just to put it in perspective, last year's result, number 5, was Cade Cunningham. So he's in very, very good company. And I know there was some comments. There was actually, I can't remember the national writer, but they did a little recap on Summer League and said, listed Darryn as one of the disappointments of Summer League.
Oh, I saw that. That was ridiculous.
And to
Should
me,
the Jazz be worried?
And to me, I just go back to he was guarded different than everybody else in that league, in the entire Summer League. Teams saw what he did here. They did a great job of just trying to make him a passer. And he's a good enough player, but a good enough teammate as well. 1 or 2 on the ball, he got rid of it. He didn't force things. So I have zero concern. That was much more about the way he was guarded. But I think he showed just fine.
Tony Jones joins us next. High noon up and down the Wasatch Front. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Queen Carvania stood haloed by the morning sun. An army hung on her every word.
My champions, I have sold my chariot on Carvana. 'Twas a lovely SUV, an inexplicably queenly offer. They're even coming to the castle to collect it. Tonight, we feast!
An offer you can feast on. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.